Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Today I'm going to be making this inside panel fold card. So this is a scalloped edged card base that I'm using, and it should measure 6 or 12 by 6, but it only comes up to 11 7/8. If you're going to make this card, you can make it yourself. Cut a piece of card 12 by 6 and then score at 6. But because this one is 11 7/8, I've got to score it in the middle, and that would be between the 5 7/8 and the 6. But this is fine, I have it worked out, and I know that you'll probably make one or get one, and you'll be able to work out the sizes yourself. These are all the pieces that I'm going to put on the front of my card. I'm using the pink card that came with Lizi's kit. This piece is going to be 5.5 by 5.5. And even if with the scalloped edge, I would have gone down the half a mark from it being 6. This piece I'm going to put then on top will work out at 5.25 by 5.25, so they'll mat on there nicely at the front. I got this new die at the weekend, and it's a happy birthday die, and I just thought I was going to use that for this tutorial. It cuts out the shadow as well as the happy birthday itself. So I've cut out the shadow in the pink, and then I've die cut out happy birthday twice in white. I'm going to use 2 pieces of the ephemera, the watermelon and a colourful, it looks like a wedge of lemon or lime with some pinks in it. I'm also going to put some of the sequins on the front of the card. I'll stick them down using my Nuvo glue and then put some Glossy Accents on top of that. Now, inside my cards, I'm going to put these 2 mats and layers. And I'm using 2 different papers. And you can see that the front paper is very similar to these 2, that it's, a kind of a mix of the 2. Because I'm going to do a panel fold card, I need each side of the inside with a nice mat and layer, because this little piece here is going to sit on inside. So when you close it, it closes like this, and when you open it, it opens like this. So the measurements for the 2 panels are the same, 5.5 by 5.5, 5.25 by 5.25, and that's for the 2 inside, 5.5 by 5.5, 5.25 by 5.25. Then I'm going to put this piece on the inside, and this piece is 11 7/8 long. Actually, it's not, it's a little bit shorter. It's 11 3/4. And then I'm going to score it at 3, 5 3/4, and at 8.5. Now you can, if you're doing it at 12 inches long, you'll need to change those measurements up a little bit. But that's the measurements I'm using for my strip, which is 11 3/4. Right. So on this strip we're going to put some mats and layers, and I've used the pink card for these mats on the inside of the card, but on the outside of the card for the happy birthday shadow and for the layer behind, I've had to use a pink card from my stash, because the one that came with Lizi's kit wouldn't be enough for all of the pieces I've needed. So what I've cut off from Lizi's card was enough for the 2 mats and layers, as well as for these pieces to go on the panel fold part. So I have enough from the strips to make these 4 little mats, as well as the little strips of paper that was left over from those 2 inside panels. I had enough to cut down. So this piece is 2 3/4 long by 1 inch, and you need 2 of those. And then our little piece inside is 3 3/4 by 2.5, and that'll sit there. And as I said, you need 2, 1 for each end. Then the inside one is 2.5 by 1/2 by 1 inch, and then the little matted layer inside is 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4. And they'll all get stuck down like that and sit there nicely. And I'll put that on the card like that. The only other piece I'm going to add to that inside is a white piece that I can put my sentiment and one of the stickers that we got. And I'll go through that with you when I get to them. I'm also going to take 4 of the little girls. 2 of them have surfboards and I'm going to put one either end. And then these 2 little cuties, one with her melon slice and the other with her cocktail, I'm going to stick them on there. So that way when we fold out, they will come off the actual page. The little sentiment I'm going to take off this is the Hello Sunshine, and that's going to go behind the blonde-haired girl there on the right. So I've cut a piece of white card and I'm going to put this in here towards the top. And this piece is measuring at 5 inches by 3 inches. And then my little panel fold will sit underneath it and the blondie-haired girl will be over there at the right. So let's go ahead, fast forward through putting together and sticking down all our parts to this card, and I'll come back to you shortly. So I'm going to take my little girl here for on the left hand side, and you need to remember you can stick her down fully on this panel. Herself and the little blonde haired girl that's going to be on the right, they can be stuck down fully onto the card. But the two girls, my red-haired girl and my black-haired girl, that are going to be on the part of the panel that folds out, you only want to put some of your tape or glue, whatever you're using, on the bottom part. Don't put it behind their head because they'll stick to the card and then they won't pop out. So I just wanted to remind you of that. So now I have the card finished and I'm just going to put my little stamp on the back, and I have a stamp that I got made up with Blonde Cards and Crafts and my name on it. I'm going to stamp that down in the middle at the back of the card panel, and to do this I'm going to use some Distress Oxide. I really should have done this before I put all my cards together, but I'm a rebel. I like to have a go at things, and generally I end up doing this always last. Because we have some raised pieces at the back, I need to be very careful when I stamp this down that I get an even coverage. And I think I get 98% of a good coverage on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's it. That's my inside panel fold card using the Love From Lizi July 2019 kit. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video and seeing me make this card. If you did enjoy the video, I would love for you to click on the thumbs up and give me a like. And if you're not a subscriber, I would really like for you to hit the bell and subscribe to my channel. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. And here are some images for you to look at. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, bye bye.